9月14日日曜日の主なニュースを英語でお伝えします。In Japan, the percentage of people aged 65 or older has reached a record high of 29.4%. The number of older adults who are working has also hit a record high of 9,300,000. This information comes as Japan prepares to celebrate Respect for the Aged Day on September 15th.
Japan's Transport Safety Board has begun investigating a United Airlines plane that made an emergency landing at Kansai Airport on the 12th. The plane landed after a fire alarm went off during the flight and passengers had to evacuate.
In Makinohara, Shizuoka Prefecture, which was damaged by a tornado on the 5th, local high school students helped with cleanup efforts on the 14th during a 3-day weekend.
Unstable atmospheric conditions are affecting western and eastern Japan, leading to localized rain clouds. There is a risk of heavy rain through tonight, the 14th. People are advised to be cautious of landslides and other disasters, especially in areas where the ground is already loose from previous rainfall.
A former Ukrainian soldier who was a prisoner of war of the Russian army in 2022 and later released, said in an interview that he was tortured and abused by the Russian side in the prison camp.
Japan's protests against accepting refugees continue in the United Kingdom. On the 13th, a large demonstration took place in London, the capital city, and some protesters clashed with the police. There were arrests, creating a tense situation.
In women's curling, Team Fortius will represent Japan in the final qualifying round for the Olympics. On the 14th, in the third and final game, Fortius defeated Team SC Karuizawa Club, winning 3 games and losing 2, including matches carried over from the qualifying league, and thus securing their spot as the representatives. Fortius will now aim to qualify for the Olympics, which will be held in Canada this December. They will represent Japan in the women's division and try to achieve Japan's 8th consecutive appearance in the Olympics. 続いて、社会のニュースをお伝えします。Unseasonably warm weather continues on the 15th. There is a risk of localized heavy rain. Temperatures rose on the 14th, mainly on the Pacific side of eastern and western Japan, with many locations experiencing extremely hot days. Due to the influence of a front and humid air, the atmosphere is unstable, and there is a risk of localized thunderstorms and heavy rain. Please be very careful of landslides and other disasters.
The Emperor and Empress attended the opening ceremonies of the National Cultural Festival and the National Art and Culture Festival for People with Disabilities in Sasebo City, Nagasaki Prefecture on the 14th.
September 15th is Respect for the Aged Day. The percentage of the population aged 65 or older is at a record high of 29.4%. The number of older workers has also reached a record high of 9.3 million, according to the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications.
In Makinohara City, Shizuoka Prefecture, which suffered tornado damage on the 5th of this month due to the approach of a typhoon, local high school students helped with cleanup work on the 14th, the second day of the 3-day weekend.
On the Tohoku Expressway in Kanuma City, Tochigi Prefecture, on the night of the 13th, a car that had been involved in a single vehicle accident was hit by another car. A child in the second car is in critical condition. Police have arrested a 30-year-old Turkish national who was suspected of fleeing the scene after causing the initial accident. He is partially denying the charges, and police are investigating the details.
September 14th marks 1 month since a male hiker was attacked by a brown bear on Mount Rasu in the Shiratoko Peninsula. In Shiratoko, where the distance between brown bears and people is being questioned, efforts are underway to prevent a recurrence, such as installing cameras to monitor problematic behavior by tourists.
Construction has begun to recycle soil removed during decontamination efforts after the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant accident at central government offices in Kasumigaseki, Tokyo. On the 14th, soil was being brought into flower beds at the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry.
On the morning of the 14th, a fishing boat and a pleasure boat collided off the coast of Akashi City, Hyogo Prefecture. 6 people fell into the sea. All were rescued and taken to the hospital and are conscious.
Regarding the trouble in which a United Airlines plane landed at Kansai Airport on the 12th after a fire alarm went off in the cabin during flight and passengers made an emergency evacuation, the country's Transportation Safety Board began investigating the aircraft on the 14th.
At the pond in Inuyama City, Aichi Prefecture, where an Air Self-Defense Force training plane crashed in May of this year, rental boat operations will resume in October. On the 14th, a ceremony was held to mourn the crew member who died in the accident and to pray for safety at the pond.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。With hot weather continuing, an event is being held in a park in Matsuyama City, Ehime Prefecture, where children can play with artificial snow and ice slides. Yamagata's autumn tradition, the #1 Imoni Festival, where imoni, a local dish, is made in a giant pot, is being held on the riverbed in Yamagata City and is bustling with many people. Their Majesties the Emperor and Empress, who are visiting Nagasaki Prefecture, observed a local dance team practicing a dance expressing the traditional autumn festival Nagasaki Kunchi in Sasebo City on the 14th. Their Majesties the Emperor and Empress, who are visiting Nagasaki Prefecture, will attend the opening ceremonies of the National Cultural Festival and the National Arts and Culture Festival for People with Disabilities in Sasebo City on the 14th. It has been found that Japan's proportion of public spending on education is 8%, the 4th lowest level among the 37 member countries of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Hanasaki Port in Hokkaido, which boasts the largest catch of sari in Japan for 15 consecutive years, is experiencing a large catch this season and is bustling. However, due to a reduction in acceptance capacity caused by recent poor catches, there is a shortage of materials such as tanks and ice for transporting the fish. 続いて、科学・医療関連のニュースをお伝えします。Work has begun to reuse soil removed during decontamination efforts after the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant accident. This soil is being reused at central government offices in Kasumigaseki, Tokyo. On the 14th, soil was delivered to flower beds at the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry. 続いて、政治関連のニュースをお伝えします。The Communist Party is focusing on increasing its membership among young people to improve its chances in the next lower house election. They have designated the period until the end of the year as an intensive period. Party leaders will participate in dialogues between young people and party members in various locations.
The Secretary General of the Constitutional Democratic Party, Azumi, stated on a Sunday discussion program that it is currently difficult for any single party to hold power alone. He expressed the party's aim to become the largest party in the next lower house election and then call on other parties to cooperate in order to achieve a change of government.
Regarding the Liberal Democratic Party leadership election, Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries, Koizumi, has decided to run. With just over a week until the official announcement, a series of press conferences formally announcing candidacies are expected this week.
続いて、経済ニュースをお伝えします。The Chinese government has announced an investigation into potential discriminatory measures taken by the United States regarding export controls in the semiconductor sector. The investigation is based on suspicion that the U.S. has unfairly targeted China. With trade talks between the two countries scheduled for this month, it remains to be seen how this action will affect those discussions.
Will a yuan-based economic zone expand? A new development bank is being established. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, a framework for emerging countries led by China and Russia, has agreed at its summit to establish a new development bank to provide funding for infrastructure development in member states. China has been advocating for this bank for over a decade. Why is the establishment process now rapidly accelerating? The reason might be related to changes on the American side, which holds the dollar, the most widely used key currency in international transactions. This is reported by Naoto Shimomura, a reporter from the China General Bureau.
続いて、国際ニュースをお伝えします。A former Ukrainian soldier captured by Russian forces in 2022 and later released, testified in an interview about the torture and abuse he suffered at the hands of the Russians in the prison camp.
Protests against the acceptance of refugees continue in Britain. On the 13th, a large-scale demonstration took place in London, the capital city. Some protesters clashed with the police and arrests were made, leading to a tense situation.
Kim Yo-jong, the sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, issued a statement criticizing the joint drills by Japan, the United States, and South Korea, scheduled to begin on the 15th. She stated that it would undoubtedly lead to negative consequences and indicated that North Korea would not rule out taking countermeasures.
The Chinese government has announced that it will launch an investigation into suspected discriminatory measures taken by the United States against China regarding export controls in the semiconductor sector. The United States and China are scheduled to hold trade talks this month, and attention is focused on how this measure will affect the discussions.
In Pakistan, widespread flooding caused by heavy rains has resulted in more than 960 deaths since late June. In Punjab province, more than 2.6 million people have been forced to evacuate.
As the Israeli military intensifies its offensive to seize control of Gaza City, the largest city in the Gaza Strip, the evacuation of residents continues day and night. Many people have been repeatedly displaced, and voices of despair are being heard from residents.
Can the renminbi economic zone expand? Launching a new development bank. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization is a framework for emerging countries led by China and Russia. At this summit, an agreement was reached to establish a new development bank that will provide loans for infrastructure development in member countries. China has been advocating for this bank for over 10 years, but why is it now moving rapidly towards its establishment? This may be related to changes on the American side, which holds the dollar, the most widely used currency in international transactions.
続いてスポーツニュースをお伝えします。In professional baseball, Oryx Buffaloes pitcher Ryuhei Sawya was hit in the chest by a broken bat during his appearance in the game against the SoftBank Hawks on the 14th. He was unable to stand on his own and left the game. According to the team, Sawya was diagnosed with a chest contusion.
In short track speed skating, at the domestic season opener on the 14th, Shogo Miyata, aiming for his second consecutive Olympic appearance, won the men's 1,000 meters. This, combined with his wins in the 500 meters and 1,500 meters on the 13th, gave him a triple crown at the competition.
In curling, the final match to determine the Japanese representatives for the World Final qualifying round for the Milan Cortina Olympics took place on the 14th. Fortius defeated SC Karuwaza Club in the final third match, bringing their head-to-head record from the qualifying league to 3 wins and 2 losses, securing their spot as representatives. Fortius will aim to qualify for the Olympics for the 8th consecutive time as the Japanese women's team at the final qualifying round held in Canada this December.
In women's golf, the Japan Women's Professional Championship, the second major domestic tournament of the season, was held in Ibaraki Prefecture. Shina Kanazawa won her first tour victory, defeating Shiho Kuwaki in a playoff after both finished with a total score of 10 under par.
In Major League Baseball, Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Dodgers played in the game against the Giants and hit a massive 49th home run of the season, contributing to his team's victory.
In Major League Baseball, Masataka Yoshida of the Boston Red Sox appeared as a pinch hitter in the game against the Yankees and struck out. The team suffered its 3rd consecutive loss.
In Major League Baseball, Yuki Matsui of the San Diego Padres pitched in relief in the game against the Rockies, pitching a scoreless 9th inning, retiring all 3 batters he faced.
At the World Athletics Championships held in Tokyo, the women's marathon took place on the 14th. Kana Kobayashi, making her debut at the World Championships, finished in 7th place.
In curling, the second match to determine the Japanese representatives for the World Final qualifying round for the Milan Cortina Olympics took place on the 14th. Fortius defeated SC Karawatha Club, bringing their head-to-head record from the qualifying league to 2 wins and 2 losses. The final third match will be held on the 14th starting at 2:30 p.m., and the winning team will be the representatives.
In Major League Baseball, Shinsuke Ogasawara of the Washington Nationals pitched in relief in the game against the Pirates and allowed a solo home run, giving up 1 run in 1 inning.
今日のニュースは以上です。ご視聴ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。